Alright guys, so it's already Tuesday and I'm now going on night 2 of severe rough sleeping. Unfortunately, I'm dealing with a trifecta of problems. So one of them is obviously anxiety. The other thing is that, and I mentioned this before, Texas construction is so bad that our second floor gets very warm. So we need to have an AC unit, which you've probably seen in the videos. That thing is loud and I'm a very light sleeper. So normally my solution is I go downstairs and I sleep on the couch so my fiance can get his sleep so that way he can do his work performance. But now I'm encountering another problem, which is noise from a room adjacent to me because I am a caregiver to an 80-year-old and she doesn't realize the TV is loud. So I ask her, hey, put it down. So that's not a big deal. But the new problem is that my plants that I kept inside somehow now have like mosquitoes and all kinds of stuff. I don't know where this came from, how I got to be. So we spent all day yesterday with a like electric fly swatter taking them out, and I told my fiance, I was like, that's enough. I encountered it now 3 nights in a row. I didn't realize it got this bad. And I'm just gonna pull all my plants outside of the house and then probably pour neem oil and kind of flush that out so I can get my house back, from these bugs. And I clean my house. I constantly maintain these plants, and then somehow the south is bad for bugs. And I literally just had the house sprayed. I changed the water all the time so there's no mosquito larvae, and somehow bugs got in here. But that's a common problem with having indoor plants. It's just that mosquito seems to be a really bad one, and let me tell you, all they do is bite our feet. And no, we don't have fleas. I already checked for that. I checked for everything. We do have cats, but I checked for everything else. It's mosquitoes. We identify them. We have the little fly traps. So that's what I'm going to take care of today. I'm going to be migrating all my plants from inside to outside. I need to get my sleep back in order because I can't keep going like this. I had to take a shot of alcohol to knock my ass out because every little noise wakes me up, so I can't sleep. So it's the only way for me to numb my brain. Otherwise, my brain is very active and hyper aware. So yeah, so yesterday was no fun. So let's go ahead and take a look at the activity for the day. Okay, so just kind of show you how many plants I have. So some of these are tropical. They're required. And you can see I've been trying to control the bugs with the little butterflies. They kind of do work, but to an extent. So these are what's left of my carnivorous collection. So I got some right here, and then I got some plants here. They help me. My plants help me to calm myself down. I got more in the window. I got some up here. And then I got some big boys right here. I got some plants there. Pardon the mess. This is what I do to do Facebook Marketplace. I pretty much just push everything I want to get rid of down here. And then I go ahead and just post it online, or I donate it. So this is my sorting area. And then I got this rack here. I'm going to have to pull everything out and find out what has the bugs and put neem oil on everything. So that's my task for today. So bear with me. I found my main culprit. It's this plant right here. I thought it was draining, and it's not. You can see there's all these little bugs in it, so he's going to be my main plant that I'll be dealing with, and I made a mess out of the corner, but I'm still going to move forward, moving my plants out. This needs to get done. So this is my front entrance. I normally have had a garden here, but I ended up having some issues with the HOA. So I pretty much went ahead, got it, put all the plants in earlier this spring. It was a whole shit show, but anyway, so right now the biggest culprit there was, so this is the first plant that came out is this vine plant, and for whatever reason, because I have to keep it humid, look at all the bugs. So this was the first one to go out, and I thought putting it out might resolve the issue, and it didn't. So now I have to put everything else out. So I'm gonna redo this whole area right here. Lucky for me, this bad boy's on wheels, so it shouldn't be too hard to move. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get this going. Okay, so I brought the stand outside, and now what I'm going to do is I just drained all the water that's in here. I need to find out why this plant is not draining, but you can see there's a ton of bugs in it, so I'm going to put some neem oil in it, and I'm going to put some plant protect on it. So let's see how this goes. I'm an idiot. I didn't realize that when I potted this planter did not have holes, so that water's been stagnating there for a while, hence why now we have bugs in there, because they had stagnant water for critters to grow in. So I just simply grabbed my power tool, made some holes in it, and that should resolve that problem. So this is the unfortunate part of having a house with like limited windows. This plant is clearly suffering from indoor bugs. There's nothing you could do about it in Texas. They're just everywhere. So this is gonna take, I'm gonna do some heavy cleanup on this one, repot it, and then go from there. It also has too much watering, so you can see some of the rot in here. So I'm gonna take care of that and remove all this right here. So I simply grab the hose and I hose a lot of the little buggies off. It's actually not very hard to do. And try not to hit the planter because you can see this is saturated with too much water. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm clearing this off, then I'm going to trim this back, and I'm going to repot a lot of these little places where it can regrow into the planter itself. So I'm going to kind of give it a nip and tuck. It's pretty much what's going to be called, and hopefully it will recover a lot faster. And I won't need to water this bad boy for a while, so that's going to be good. Okay, so unfortunately, after really looking at it, the plant was mostly rotten, so I pretty much gutted as much as I could. Kept the little pieces that still have roots in them. So that's pretty much what you're seeing right here. I just pretty much put them back in. This is soaking wet. This won't need water for a hot minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the neem oil on it. But this was like just covered. It was just covered in bugs. Again, this because the way my house is laid out, so hard for me to really look at these plants all the way around. So hopefully now I can give it a much happier home. I have revived this plant 3 times. It just seems to always come back. As soon as I have a little piece of it, it always comes back. So let's see if I can salvage it. Otherwise, it's gone, it's dead. The same thing with like 1,000 mothers. This thing has died on me twice. As long as I give it water, sun, it's good to go. So there it is, reflourishing and spreading because it's kind of spreading in my yard. So there's another one of my plants. Unfortunately, one of my clippings ripped right off, and it was a really healthy one too. However, you can see those little bugs are getting everywhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing to this plant, clean it out, put it back together, give it a neem treatment, and then put it outside so it could get some really nice, healthy sunlight. So far it's going good. I've been cleaning a lot of the bugs off on these. I've also been securing these to the post because there's no house next to me or behind me, so we get a lot of strong wind. So this way this will be tied down to the shelf, and I am going to add some bricks at the bottom to keeping this from tipping over, so that should make it even more secure. But the good part is I used to put racks underneath these. I decided not to anymore because they need to drain. That's the problem. They're not draining. But again, Texas is crazy. It goes from like raining every day to just not raining at all. So this has been a fun challenge. Like I said, right now I'm just securing them onto the rack, and it also keeps people from stealing them. I'm not saying that that's the problem here in Texas, but outside plant, I just don't trust people, and even though I have a camera, I don't trust people. So here's another one of my plants. You guys probably know these better as the Wandering Jew. The other plant right there that's pinkish is another version of this plant, but that one's man-made versus this one. This plant is really hard to kill. I brought a little piece this big for North Carolina, and I've been able to regrow this plant over and over and over every year. As long as I keep a little clipping of it, I can regrow it as many times as I want. It's not very complicated plant. Sun, water, dirt. So I love this plant. I love the colors. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to clean it up, put some neem in it, and then put it up. As far as I'm tracking, I don't see too many bugs on this one. I never saw too many bugs on this. But just to be sure, let's go ahead and take care of that real quick. The good news is I'm now secure this shelf. This ain't going anywhere. There's 4 bricks at the bottom. Those things are heavy as hell. The bad news is my Wandering Jew plant, when I moved it, the whole plant fell out. The base was rotten. So I simply did what I did. Reminced the dirt, put some eggshells in it, put the mint oil, put the plant back in there like a coil, and it should reroot at some point or another. So it just looks like a giant bird's nest, but it will come back. This plant is resilient as hell. I said this before. I'm not too worried about it. So, but it is what it is. So here is the final result. Now I do need to add a few more plants in there, but I gotta make sure that they agree with the weather. But honestly, having them spaced out like that works out just fine, because this way, if they get sick, I can catch it. It's a little harder on the inside, and then right here on the outside, I put a lot of my little succulents, so I'm pretty happy. This was a good project. It's been about 4 hours, so I'm kind of beat. But they all have their neem oil. They all have their treatment for outdoor. I cleaned out a lot of dead things. So all in all, hopefully this will bring down the bug problem. All in all, that's pretty much what I got for today. That was about 4 hours. I am tired. So I started at like 7:30. And let me 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. It's gonna be almost 11:30 right now. So yeah, so about 4 hours, I think. I think that math sounds right. 3 to 4 hours. By the way, that was a lot of work. Just bringing stuff out, moving it, cleaning it, putting the neem oil, going one by one. Some of them unfortunately broke apart, so I had to put them back together. So like I said, I got about 85% of the plants out here. There's a few more. I just have to make sure that they can tolerate the Texas heat. We have been hitting about 100 degrees easily. Even in the shade, it's hot as shit. So it's one of those things that I have to keep track of that. And the weather here goes nuts. It goes from like really cold to like really hot. So that's the other thing I gotta watch out for as well. But it's good for them to sit outside, get some of like the natural sun. So I'm pretty happy about that. And hopefully this will bring down our bug problem. Like I said, I keep the house clean. We have pest control come out. It's just at some point, one of the plants were not draining properly, got water, and boom, it was just enough to have it flourish. So this should bring a lot of that down. The only thing I'm not bringing out is my carnivorous plants. I had a ton of them when I moved from North Carolina to Texas. They're like, oh, they'll be fine. No, they didn't. They roasted in the sun. So those babies are going to stay inside. And yeah, this was a good project. This was a really good way to get a lot of stress. So I'm going to go put my stuff together. I got to get ready for a meeting in a few minutes. But anyway, I'll talk to you all later. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy my shenanigans. Sorry I didn't do a time lapse. There was just so much going on. It would be really hard for me to do a time lapse of this because I'm not in like a solid ground. Here it's like a slight hill. So it was really hard to even put the camera up. So I'm like, nah, it's fine. I'll just show you guys little clips as I go. Oh, I got a little honeybee coming in. Excellent. Excellent. Honeybees. Love them. All right, cats. Y'all take care, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Cheers.